your boy. Oh shit.
That right there is so cool every time. But anyway, welcome to another episode of the I Stay Low podcast show. I'm your host, Mardy Lee. And today I'm joined by a very special guest. His name is Tyson. Tyson is a music producer. Tyson is a college graduate. Tyson is a close friend. And Tyson is a band member. He's very invested in music, amongst other things. And we'll discuss all that today. So, I'd like to go ahead and bring on my guest. Tyson, what's good?
Not much, chilling, man. What's good with you?
Another day, bro. Just another day, dog. So, a little bit earlier, you was talking about some of your music things and stuff that you've done before. What really got you into music? Was it the start from band, or did it start from band? Did it start in church, or where did it all start from?
Man, I'm gonna be real with you. That shit really all started from my mom, bro. You know, music was always in the house, you know. I'm a 9'3" baby, so you know, we had a lot of people doing big music things in that time. I know most of the time she would listen to Mary and stuff like that. But she would like that, the older stuff too. And my grandma, you know, she was singing in the church, so she was always singing every time I was over there too. Actually, my mom always tell me the story. The shit kind of sound cliche, but I believe it because she would lie on the shit about that. She was like, I was the kid that going to the damn cabin and take all the pots and pans. So I would start banging on that shit and shit. So she said that's what I was doing. So you know, then I remember in 5th grade they had these. The music teacher came down to school. And I just gravitated towards it, you know. She was like, "Oh, you want to do music?" I'm like, "Yeah, I want to do music, you know. What you want to do?" I pad on the drumstick. I fucking, knowing you're in a band, you got to do something weird, man, with your mouth and stuff. It's called the Amish, so you got to position your lips and stuff. So I did that. She was like, "All right, we can find something for you to do." So, yeah, it really took off after 5th grade, you know, middle school.
Yeah, dog. So, did you go straight into... Were you on snares? Were you on cymbals? What was it in band that really just took off?
All right, so from middle school up until my sophomore year of high school, I was just straight trumpet out.
Mm-hmm.
That was it, trumpet. Then some stuff went down, and you know I was a skilled trumpeter. And some stuff went down in another section, and they lost some people. So they was like, "Yo, Tice, you know, you real good at trumpet. I think this would be an easy switch for you to play something. It's called the mellophone. Pretty sure a lot of y'all know what that is, but it's the marching version of the French horn.
Yeah.
So in 10th grade, I switched to the mellophone, and just during marching, so for a concert and stuff like that, symphonic, I was playing the French horn. So now we got trumpet, French horn, mellophone. Then my junior year, we got something called indoor percussion, right?
Right.
That's just straight percussion. You go around competing with other percussionists and things like that from different schools and stuff. So I tried out for that. You know, I had to do some rudiments, you know, and I ended up getting it. And I was on third base drum.
Straight up. So it's I didn't even get a chance to ask you from the beginning. Where exactly are you from in Louisiana?
Well, let me represent that dough real quick. Thibodeau, you heard me? Yeah, 985, that's where I'm from. Yeah.
Shout out to Thibodeau, dog. I know a lot of great people from Thibodeau, for real. And so, being from the 985, how, or exactly what were your music influence sounds? Was it more of a Cash Money scene, or was it more of a No Limit that gave you a sound, or was it just things that got just, speeded forward to today where we got trap sounds and whatnot? So what was the real influence behind your sound?
So growing up in Thibodeau, you know, I'm gonna be real. Of course, you know, No Limit, Cash Money. Big on Cash Money though. Still to this day, I've been doing this producer thing for a couple of years, and I still feel like Manny Fresh is one of the greatest producers in the world. If I ever met the dude, I'd probably, do some fan shit. Nah, I'm just fucking around, but nah, like Manning that dude for real. Like that whole 90s Cash Money sound, his uh, style of production, he had some New Orleans song as far as like the cadences of his drums, but his melodies, like them hoes was like so soulful. If they wasn't soulful, they was real spacey.
Mhm.
And I feel like that's where I'm at now. But as far as influences outside of Louisiana, man, Texas next door.
Yeah.
So like my cousin put me on Boosie a long time ago. So I was listening to Boosie before the whole Pimp C thing.
Mm-hmm.
But that ghetto story and stuff came out with Webby, Pimp C, brought Boosie to the forefront, and I'm like, Pimp C trying to bring Boosie to the forefront, and then it's like Boosie introducing me to Pimp on this. So I mean, I've been hearing dude around from my cousin and stuff, but when that Boosie dropped, I was really like, oh, there's a whole nother world of Texas shit out here that sound cool as hell.
Yeah.
So from that moment, and I always had my cousin. He was older than me. He about 10 years older than me, so he was always on that. He was into that. So he always had like chopped and screwed mixes all on the house, all around the house, burn CDs, stuff on my line white. My computer, my line white. I didn't even know what the hell this shit was. I'm like, what's this? I remember one time I found the damn R. Kelly. I think it was on a damn burn CD. It said "fuck action, chop and screw." I said, "What the fuck is this in my damn room, man?" So I went and searched line white and stuff, and all these people popped up. Screw was gone by the time. But I know the dude that was doing it a lot back then after school and stuff. That I noticed was I always saw on LimeWire and then around my house on the burn CDs was a dude named OG Ron C.
Yup.
And I think he's still doing things around here.
For sure.
So that's really what got me into the Houston song. All them boys, Slim Thug, Zero, big on Zero. Trader True, Kiki the Don, shout out.
Yeah.
All them boys like that.
Don
man.
Key.
Yeah.
Shit. So it's like being down here in what we call the third coast, it's different from a West Coast and it's different from the East Coast. And even though that, Atlanta is considered the South, it doesn't have like a true Southern flavor, like how can I say, like how Houston has its own particular sound that sounds Southern. Louisiana has a sound that sounds Southern. Mississippi has a sound that sounds Southern, and Alabama as well, because there are some artists that come up out of Alabama that just don't get no type of shine. That's a story for another day. And do you find it strange that artists from Atlanta and artists from Florida don't have like a true traditional Southern sound? Do you find it strange? Stumped it.
I feel that it's not the Southern sound that people have come to know and recognize, but I do feel that they have their own way of going about it.
Yeah.
See, I know especially for Florida, because it's like, I listen to some Florida rappers, and from that, like I know Kodak, he listed his top influencers as Boosie, BG, people like that,
Yeah.
Then as far as Atlanta, you could say that besides Outkast and Dungeon Fam and all of them, you could say for present day, Zaytoven influenced a lot of Atlanta trap sound.
Yes,
But the
indeed.
thing is, Zaytoven grew up in the church and stuff, but Zaytoven from the West Coast.
Yeah, he from Oakland.
He from the West Coast. And something else, the West Coast was heavy on Louisiana music.
Yeah, that's something that a lot of people don't notice that too, because to bring it back, like Master P went to the West in the 90s, you know what I'm saying? And then I forgot what album it was that he came back to Louisiana to finish recording, because he said it just wasn't, it didn't have that home feel, it didn't have that home like vibe or that bounce to it, you know what I'm saying? But it's just crazy how music has spread all over the place. And to focus in more on your catalog, what is the producer name that you go by? What is your stage name, your artist name that you go by?
My artist name is SSJ Amethyst.
And what inspired that?
Well, you know, right now you can look at my shirt. It's a Dragon Ball shirt, Goku Black on it. You know, I'm a big anime fan. It all started with Dragon Ball. But as far as the Amethyst, it got its own powers and stuff. I know in the past it was said to control evil thoughts, increase intelligence, increase creativity, things like that, and it got healing properties to it.
Yeah,
It protects you from. I could say the right thing to say. It protects you from those
straight up.
Those negative energies, but it's supposed to protect you from the bullshit, basically. Protect you from the bullshit, boost your creativity.
Gotcha. And so, I know that you're big into anime, and how does anime cross over into your music, and vice versa?
Well, anime into my music. Sometimes I do the straightforward crossover. I hear a dope ass track on the anime that I'm watching. Anime has some beautiful music, man.
Yeah, it does.
So sometimes I go straight to sampling, and when I don't do that, like the vibes I pick up from some anime too is like this dark ass scene that I want to capture in my own way,
Yeah.
And speaking of that, it's like not to get off the anime part, but most of my music is like it's all I'm gonna be real, it's all emotion based. Like I could be feeling a way one day and you'll hear that in the beat. I could be feeling another way an hour later and you'll be able to hear that too. So it's not like I'm not good at requests at all when it comes to kind of beat. Like if someone requests a beat from me, I'll say, "Oh, I made this, and maybe this is what you're looking for," but I can't, create that kind of vibe just to go in and make a beat if I'm not feeling that way with my emotions.
Yeah. So how in your library, how do you go about separating like dark sounds from happy sounds to even sounds? Like how you go about separating it all? Is it like you say it changes from on a daily basis and sometimes even a hourly basis? I can understand that because we all human. So how do you just go about separating it all, and how do you eventually just get your music out to others?
Truthfully, I don't even separate them. I know after I complete a beat, I'll title it, and that's really what makes me know like this is that beat. Because you can tell from the title the type of shit I was on when I made it. Like I got one instrument called Diamond Face.
Yeah.
When you hear Diamond Face, what you think about? On some flex and shit, just to watch.
Just to watch.
Just to watch that. So you don't got a question what kind of vibe that is. And like last week, I made a beat, but I dropped it on Instagram and in my beat store like yesterday, and it's called Dusk.
Mm-hmm.
What's dusk? That's like the bridge between night and day. It's not all the way nighttime, but it's mostly nighttime. The sun is peeking through.
Yeah.
That's how I was feeling at the time. I feel like I'm in a dark place, but the sun peeking through kind of. So
Straight up. And so, how many projects have you been able to just crank out or put out altogether, just throughout the duration?
as far as projects, I only released my first project last Friday, August 7th. No, what was that? Is it August 10th? It's called Ethereal. Go check that out. It's on iTunes, Apple Music, Spotify, everything. But that's just because I was wasting time. On my library, I have probably enough content to drop. Probably, honestly, truthfully, 12 projects.
Yeah. Because I know you've been doing beats for a while.
Mm-hmm.
You were one of the first people that I met that was doing beats. And what's funny about that too is whenever you was doing beats and stuff, you never ever wanted to touch a microphone. and, and it's still like that to this day. So why are you just more comfortable behind the board and just on the sound, or is it just you just think that just the rapping thing just isn't your calling?
I'm gonna be real with you, dog. Like, uh, motherfuckers made me try that rapping shit once, and it was cool, but they ain't me. Like, if you doing a beat right now, I could freestyle some heat. I ain't even lie to you, but you know that's cause that's where we from. You know,
that's what we do.
You know, we just sitting outside. We just played football, some shit. We drank from the hose pipe. We was busting freestyles out of nowhere. So I'm cool with that. That shit fun. But as far as like a serious career, I can't put my all into something I'm not really, interested in. Like I'm gonna be real with you. I'm a thoughtful dude, man. I'm a deep thinker. I'm an emotional dude, and I love sounds. I'm not even gonna say music. I just love sounds.
Yeah.
Like I could walk outside and hear something. It could be a train. I'd be like, damn, that train got that cool ass echo on it.
Yeah.
That's what I'm into. So that's what I'm gonna go hard behind. Just the music, you know.
And that's the thing too. It's just like being a deeper thinker. Do you? Let's talk about like mental health for a second, right? How does mental health? Have you ever like sought out therapy, or just have you ever just had to counsel certain friends? And has there ever been a situation that's like inspired a beat or inspired like a different sound, emotion that's taken you to a place where you never would have thought that you would have had this particular sound?
Well, I'm glad you brought up the whole mental health thing because that's actually my field of work that I do.
Yeah.
So I'm actually in the mental health field. I got my master's in psychology, all that. And as far as for myself, I have not done any kind of counseling, but I will say that I'm going back to school for some more counseling stuff, and it is a requirement.
Yeah.
You have to be on the opposite side of the chair to be able to serve people in that kind of position.
That's dope.
So I will be entering counseling. I guess it's like
I want to sit down. I want to do that shit. I want to like be on the couch. I feel like we all need therapy to a certain extent.
Right.
Shit, even if it's about whatever. Where if it's about our dog that died, or you know what I'm saying, or a car, our favorite car that we lost, or a certain person that we lost, or just whatever the case may be. You know what I'm saying? We all got this. We all got something that we got to get off. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So when did you graduate? Graduate from the school you went to?
Well, most recent, I went to Houston Baptist University. That's where I got my master's.
Straight up. Salute that master's bag.
Yeah. And my first degree, my bachelor's, I was back home. Shout out to Nicholls State University, Tidwell, Louisiana. That was in December 2014 I graduated.
And so you knocking that school shit out, getting it out the way.
Man, you got to, like we was talking about earlier, you got to have a way to fund your dream. You can't just have a dream and, not have no money behind it. That's just sad truth,
Speak to that. Speak to that point of where it's where you gotta have the funds in order to get certain things popping instead of just being a one-trick pony.
Cause it's like, man, if you doing this shit seriously, you gonna know it has a lot of costs. It got a lot of stuff you need to be able to buy. Like you doing this podcast thing. You got these mics in here. You got this board in here. You got this MacBook in here. You got these headphones in here. Who paying for that? Like, yeah, you could dream to do that shit, but who gonna fund it?
Yeah.
And people say, well, if you got the talent, you could do it. Okay, but who gonna discover this talent? Who gonna put this talent out here? You can't just walk into people who are already doing this and say, oh, I'm good at this. Let me hop on what you doing. Oh, you can't do that.
Yeah.
I'm a producer. I use a MacBook too. I use FL Studio. That costs.
Yeah.
I got drum kits. That costs. I got sound banks. That costs.
Mm-hmm.
You
got a store.
I have a B store. That costs memberships. I just put my album out. That costs. Yes, it costs to put an album out. It costs to maintain that shit. say you got somebody who want to meet up for a studio session, how you gonna get there?
Can't Uber everywhere.
You can't Uber everywhere, and Uber costs too. You only get one free route. You sign up. Oh shit, okay.
You did.
Then it costs to eat. So it's like your dream ain't gonna put food on your plate if you just dreaming.
Absolutely. So just in these sounds today, we went through some interesting eras because you said you were born in '93, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Same here, same year as me.
To infinity, yeah.
You feel me?
Recipes, Capital Steve.
Did. So we've seen interesting stretches of music, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where the era that we're born in is extremely popularized for the New Jack Swing sound and the classic R&B sounds of, like the begging R&B and things like that. And then toward the late 90s, mid-90s, late 90s, that's whenever you started getting exposed to different genres of rap, right?
Mm-hmm.
So on the West, you had gangster music. In the East, you had lyrical music. Down South, you had more like your raunchy shit, like like your Pimp C, and like you remember the first time like Uncle Luke was like being played, and
they was wild.
They was bugging to that shit, right?
Yeah, they was wild.
And so then, you know what I'm saying, then at the same time as music kept evolving too, you had just like a stretch of just like hip hop all sounded the same low key to me in the early 2000s. Besides the I'm drawing a mind blank on the it wasn't a soul sound. It was like the Erykah Badu's and the Talib Kweli's I forgot what that era is of music is called, but somebody will correct me.
Like neo soul.
Neo soul, exactly. That's exactly what it is. The neo soul sound. Besides neo soul and just hip hop, it wasn't much else out, right?
Right.
Then all of a sudden, shit happened when I would say 05, 06.
05, dog. Jesus, man.
So all of a sudden you hear, to bring it full circle, Manny Fresh on a Jeezy record.
On a motherfucking Jeezy record, man.
On a Jeezy record, right? And then then you have these different people that pop up, Drummer Boy. Then you get your Mike Wills. But even before that too, you had your snap music.
Yeah, a lot of people don't talk about that nowadays.
And that snap music was so quick, and Lil Jon made so much bread off the front end of that, and then it developed into Soulja Boy. Then it developed into full blown trap today.
And to take it back to that, before the snap music, the crunk music.
Crunk music.
The East Side Boys, Scrappy and all that.
Yeah.
What
Trillville.
Yeah.
Yeah. And shit, speaking of the whole crunk era, Nuck If You Buck still gets any single party going. Anytime, anywhere.
Right.
And so just to see how music has advanced today, how do you feel about everybody having a trap sound? Do you feel like it's played out? Do you feel like it's the easiest to make? Because we both know a lot of people ain't living the lives that they say and rapping a lot.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
man.
just as far as, you know what I'm saying, just like the sounds of it all, like, do you just feel like it's easier for somebody to get on something with a banging ass 808 behind it?
I mean, most definitely, but I try not to look at it like that because, like you said, it always had these kind of errors and stuff. But we was growing up in them, so we really ain't pay attention to it like that.
Yep.
So now we just in it right now, so it's more about focus. But I feel it's gonna die out just like all the other ones did. Somebody gonna come with a new sound. It's just that people see what success look like, so they trying to imitate that.
Yeah.
And it works sometimes, but it definitely works less often than what people like to think,
Yeah. Whenever you get ready to press play on something that's not your music, right? what are your 5 go-to artists? Not your 5 favorites, but your 5 go-to artists.
Think on that.
Because 5 for me, I would say it's got to be something with Ross.
Oh yeah.
Got to be something with a certain era of Wayne. Really was different. We old enough to remember the mixtape run Wayne. And believe it or not, we starting to get into this era now where some of these young motherfuckers don't even know, don't even acknowledge.
So much they missing out, man.
They don't even acknowledge the whole mixtape Wayne.
That's why I don't even be on Twitter like that when they discussing their music shit, because I won't smack them.
For real.
Man,
niggas get disrespectful on the timeline. All for likes and shit, right?
Yeah.
But I think for me, it would be Ross, a certain era Wayne. Yes, I do like Drake. Certain Jay-Z shit. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know, man. To keep it G, it's hard for me to really split Future, and it's hard for me to split like Cole and Kendrick, because I like Cole's. I like different Cole in segments, right?
Mm-hmm.
I like Cole from Friday Night Lights Cole. I like Cole from the KOD Cole. That's the type of shit that I'm into. Yeah. Whenever Cole be in his bag on that shit, that's where I'm at with it with Cole. And then Kendrick, the damn album is just, it's just self-explanatory. You know what I'm saying? That's whenever Kendrick really in his bag in the Good Kid, Mad City album.
Yeah.
So like, what is like 5 go-tos for you?
5 go-tos. I'll be real with you. All top. Man, look, I don't seem like a cliche Louisiana nigga, but man, like 3 of my people are all from Louisiana. I'm sorry to say, you know, Boosie.
Yeah.
Just like rap got his arrows, Boosie got his arrows, and I fuck with all of them. Wayne. And I'm gonna say Wayne, but I'm also say the whole Cash Money, Big Timers era.
Yeah.
I listen to mixtape Wayne, but that 90s Cash Money hold a real special place in my heart, you know.
Yeah.
Like I still be bumping, you know, the BG is all on you, Volume 1, Volume 2. I be playing, you know, the Big Timers, How You Love That, again, Volume 1 and Volume 2, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna just group them all together for that one. 3. Shout out to my nigga Spitter, man. Spitter been holding down for a minute, dog.
Got to.
Currency been in the game for a minute. He was with No Limit and Cash Money. Now he got his own little thing, and he living a dream right now, making some dope music, but still in that state to where he can walk the streets without any worry, you know.
Any word, period.
And the man makes some fire ass music, man.
Spitter got something in his catalog for you to get jazzy to at any point in the day, right?
Right.
Whether if you waking up in the morning and you need something to just kind of get you from your morning drive, from your crib to your place of business, whether if you sitting down, you smoking one, whether if you getting ready to pour one, or whether if you it's just car music, you know what I'm saying? Or even if you just chilling out, Spitter got something for every single anytime.
He just a cool dude, man. I know he into the anime and stuff. He into the video games. You'll catch a lot of it in the song, a lot of references. So that's a 3rd. Let me see. Since I can't think of the 2, I'm just gonna tell you two more people who I've listened to a lot lately.
Who's that?
Well, for one, I'm really feeling this dude, Key Glock, man.
Glock.
The fuck?
The fuck?
I was with Glock, man.
Shout out Paper Route.
Yeah, for y'all don't know Glock, y'all probably know Dolph. That's Glock big cousin.
Yeah, something.
Yeah, I think Dolph Glock cousin or something like that. So I've been rocking with him a lot lately, and I think the 5th. It's tough, man. I listen to everything. I was gonna cheat and pull up my phone, but I don't want to do that. And of course, the Kendrick and the Cole, but I feel like it's like they should be like excluded because it's like like for the type of dude I am, that's like a given, you know.
Yeah.
So I feel like he ain't getting much out of me if I say, oh yeah, I like Kendrick and Cole.
That's what I like about this new era and this new wave of the young ones that's just around now. Like, I'm new to Gunna, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm new to Gunna. Of course, the Astroworld album kind of helped introduce me to Gunna. But Glock, I like Key Glock a lot. I've been listening to him since I was in VR, and he got like a young street element to it.
Yeah.
People bag on Uzi all the time, but I like Uzi.
Oh yeah, Uzi a cool dude, man.
Nah, I'm gonna be honest. I'm one of those in that camp where it's like I'm not rocking with Lil Yachty. I'm not.
Man, look, I'm gonna be real with you, dog. Like, this is somebody else I've listened to. I've listened to Nudie a lot, man. I listen to Nudie a lot, and he got a song with Yachty on. I think it was Nudie Land. I think it's the last song on. It's called No Clue.
Mm-hmm.
And I ain't gonna lie with you, son. Yachty ran that bitch. I'm like, oh shit. And you know, I listen to some shit, and I go search on YouTube to see what other people saying about it. And apparently, it got Lil Yachty and it got Lil Boat. And they was telling me that Lil Boat ran that song.
Okay.
So it's apparently he be on some other shit sometimes.
So it's kind of like a split.
Yeah.
Character.
From what I read.
Okay.
Like that's Lil Boat on that hoe. That ain't Yachty.
Like a nigga blacked out or some shit.
Yeah,
Okay.
that nigga, I was like, oh shit.
Like on some Pac and Machiavelli shit.
Yeah, I was like, man, this like.
Not saying that he's Pac and Machiavelli.
Oh yeah, you might want to edit that shit out. Honestly, niggas gonna cut up on that.
Character. That's what we talking. That's what I mean.
But I heard that nigga first, and I'm like, yo, this shit is straight. Like I said, man, look at Yachty, man.
So, how long have you been out here? Because, of course, being posted, home base is Houston, Texas. So, how long have you been out here? How has the transition from the boot to Houston, Texas been for you? Because it's a big market. Mm-hmm. It's a land of opportunity.
Man,
how has it been for you? And how long have you been here?
Like I said, I graduated from Nichols December 2014, and I know the exact date I graduated, December 13th. I'm gonna be real and honest with you and say that I was in Houston for good on December 14th.
Had your shit ready to go.
No, like, I kid you not. Like, you could call my grandma and shit. Like, I left the day after I graduated.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm real with you, man. Shit was a struggle for a while, even with my degree. Like, I was out of a job for months. And the first job I got was at fucking Macy's.
Yeah.
Was at Macy's. So I was doing the Macy's thing. Terrible, especially in the bit. Then I was look, for y'all that don't know the Houston area, you know, it's the biggest southern city, but that's not because of just Houston. They got a lot of
boroughs.
A lot of boroughs and just a big metropolitan area. And I was in a spot called the Woodlands. That's the mall I was working at. Be real with y'all. A lot of rich white folks up there. So you can imagine a small Thibodeau nigga in the Woodlands in a Macy's during holiday season. You know how many sales Macy's have? And all these motherfuckers ain't got no jobs but got hella money, so they in that bitch all day. Being annoying as hell.
Coupons.
Yeah, being annoying as hell. So that shit was rough. But before I left Louisiana, I was working at Finish Line. But the transfer didn't work out too much, too good. But they got a Finish Line inside Mason, so I'm a cool dude. And I was telling them that I used to work there, and he was like, "Oh shit, come on over." So I was doing the Finish Line thing. Mm-hmm. I stayed there until I got the job where I'm at now in this mental health thing. I heard somebody complain about it in their class. And I'm like, "Oh, you can't pay? I could do the job. I could deal with bad management. I just want to work in my field,
Right.
So what they were complaining about been my blessing from that moment on. I got this job in February 2016. And I'm still working for something better, but so that's really been my whole transition. But now that I'm a part of it, it was tough, but the rewards was just crazy, man. It's booming out
Yeah.
And I feel really that because, I met people from all over the world.
Shit, yeah.
I worked with a girl from Africa. Her accent real strong. One of my friends, classmates from school, she's from Lebanon.
Dog, it's a lot of what I'm understanding. It's a lot of like Africans, like real Africans from the motherland that are here.
Mm-hmm.
And for some reason, of course, there's a lot of people from the boot here because of what Katrina did.
Yeah.
And just other people like yourself and myself, that people that just want to better themselves and want a better life. And on top of it too, it's a lot of people from like Detroit and Chicago down here. I done ran across a lot of them.
I work with a dude from Jersey.
Yeah?
And they got a lot from Cali out here too.
Yeah.
And Atlanta. Man, it got a lot, man, literally people all over the world from here, man.
That's dope. That's what I like about it, you know what I'm saying? It's just a different type of, it's a different speed and everything out here. And so being out here for, since graduation, you were here during Hurricane Harvey. Walk me through that. What was Hurricane Harvey? How did you and your folks do it?
Man,
how are y'all now?
Actually, man, what's crazy about Harvey is this. Like, my life was crazy around that whole time period, dog. I'm right to you. So it was my final semester of grad school, right? And you know, this shit tough. I was working on my master's thesis, my nigga.
Yeah.
That shit's some heavy writing, that's some heavy workload, that's some heavy research going into that shit all by yourself.
Yeah.
You got a committee helping you, but that's really oversight. You're doing it all on your own. Plus, getting ready for finals and stuff. So that was on my plate. But I think April 30 something, I think April 29th, my motherfucking apartment caught fire, dog.
What?
Caught fire. Yeah. Caught fire. We lost a lot of shit. But we got important stuff. You know, it ain't burnt down. It was just a fire. Not to downplay it, nothing, but that shit could be, you know, very, very traumatic and stressful, you know. So I lost a lot. But I was already planning on moving.
Yeah.
So I already signed my lease for my new place back in March because that's when they give good deals. I signed it for March, but I was gonna move in late May, early June.
Mm-hmm.
So you know, it was a blessing for me to already have the place, and I came talk to them like, yo, my old place is burnt down. Can I, move in early? So it was like, yeah, cool. Just gotta clean it. The guy's been going, you know. Like, okay, that's a blessing, you know. Mom was with some other family out here, so this is May. Harvey hit when that was
Like August last year.
So I'm fresh in my new shit, and gotta do a damn hurricane. Then you know,
Was this in the Woodlands?
Oh no, my old place I was living in Spring. I lived in Spring, and this is what's wild. I ain't gonna get to my experience because I was gonna show you how God, if you believe in Him, and if not, how the universe, you don't believe in that, or whatever you believe in. Shit works weirdly around here, man.
Yeah.
My place burnt in May. Harvey hit in August. Tell me why the place I was living at in Spring got demolished by Harvey. Like, my apartment was underwater. They had to rebuild all that shit.
Son, to see that much water again. You know what I'm saying? We didn't seen it before.
Yeah.
But to see that shit again, that's insane.
Let me take it back real quick. Let me take it back. I moved out this place due to a fire in April.
Mm-hmm.
And turned around in August and the shit got flooded out. Anyway. So it's like, yeah, I went through this, but I still would have went through this months later anyway. If I would have been there. Like, the shit got flooded out, like, gone.
Water all in your shit.
Like, it was one of the places that was underwater.
And how was like the shakeback process?
I wasn't there.
No, just to kind of like just get everything. You know what I'm saying? Just seeing everything and just to see how the city is like shake back and overall. It's been fairly quick to me from my outsider because I'm still new.
Yeah, I think it was quick too, mainly because like not to downplay the situation and stuff, but Houston had a lot of money, man. Houston had a lot of money, and they got a lot of people here who make money.
Yeah.
You know, Trey was doing a lot. Trey the Truth was doing a lot for the people.
Shout out to Truth.
You know, J.J. Watt was. You know, they already loved J.J. Watt. And after the hurricane, he showed his ass in a good way. You know?
Shit, yeah.
So he was doing his thing too. A lot of people just came together, man.
Bun B, all them boys all the way over to Port Arthur. Steven Jackson.
Mm-hmm. Matches Mac.
Yup, Matches Mac.
Yeah, man. So they made it happen quickly. You know, it was rough for a while though, but they made things happen. You know, they hurt people's pockets a lot too. That hurricane, man. You know, this field I'm working in. Not only am I directly affected by this shit, but I also have to be there for my clients who was affected by this shit. A lot of my clients was displaced, you know, and still displaced a year later. Still displaced.
How many people like normally come in with? I guess that's PTSD. Is that a form of PTSD?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it's a form of PTSD. How many? I can just imagine some of the stuff that they say. Because, you know what I'm saying? That's stuff that you'll never be able to get back. You know, especially like family portraits and family memories and markings on the wall. And, you know what I'm saying? Just what we're all, what those people were accustomed to growing up around their whole lives. It's just sad though, but so to bring it back to music for you, what are some? Do you work with any artists in particular that are or do you just work with? Do you like to lock in with one artist at a time, or do you just kind of spread your beats around, spread your work around?
For the most part, I spread my work around because it's like I was not worried about being this world famous producer.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I just started to accept that title of producer within the last year.
Why?
I was just making beats. Like, I was making beats and just listening to them hoes myself.
Yeah.
Just because I love music so much. I'm like, oh, I love music. Let me make my own music to love. You know, because back when I wasn't making music, I'll tell other people's music. I'll slow that shit down, you know, chop it up with some program. And like I said, I was just making beats for myself. Then my most recent ex, she was like, you know, you should be taking this more seriously, cause she was a cool chick like me, you know, into the anime, into the music and stuff like that. And she was on YouTube and she was telling me how they got a lot of these people posting their beats.
Yeah.
And just for people to listen to. Like, yeah, you could sell them, but it got some people who really just like listening to beats. So that's what I started. I started posting them on YouTube. This was last July. I think I just made a year on YouTube. So I've been posting them on YouTube, and then, you know, that's what happened. People started hitting me up. That's when I started taking it more serious. I made a beat store. Started taking the Instagram account more serious. I didn't have Instagram at first because, you know, I don't know. I don't like that shit. I don't know.
The social media?
Yeah. I mean, I'm forced to be on it because I'm doing this shit now. But before that, I wasn't on it. I was only in high school, through college. But I think for like a whole year and a half, I was just not on nothing.
Yeah.
But
let's talk about this. Well, go ahead. Finish your point.
But I got this music thing. No, it was done. I just got this music thing, so I gotta talk to people.
I understand. I
gotta market.
Yeah.
I'm an entity now. I'm a business.
Entity is the right word.
Yeah. So it's like, you know.
And so about this technology and the social media, right? What was your first social experience was what? MySpace?
Shout out to MySpace.
So we was doing like coding.
Yeah, man. Hey, we was young as hell doing that shit. I look back at that shit. I'm like, man, that shit ain't seem like much, but now that I look back, bro.
You know, boys be getting paid like 80 racks a year for that, and we was doing that with no training.
Hey, we was really on some. Like I always gotta remember, man. We really on the leading edge of history, especially with this technology shit.
Yeah,
We
bro.
don't realize how much we got. Like look at you, man. Look at me. We got MacBooks, not just typing on word with it. Like we doing shit with this shit.
Chit chat.
Like if y'all could see this stuff right now, y'all be like, man, you know how you learn how to do that. You know, it's
Power of
crazy.
the internet and the will goes back to what you're saying. You gotta have something in your pocket in order to do what you want.
Right.
And then just about like the social media thing, just to see how it's all evolved, right? So it went from MySpace was more of a local thing. MySpace and Facebook to me seemed more like a local thing, right?
Yeah.
And then what's really gonna fuck you up is this. To me, what Twitter is, it's a very, very clean AOL chat room. Clean as far as organized, right?
Yeah, I know you meant that because that bitch is definitely not clean. That was far from clean.
And so, how AOL chat rooms? You remember how chat rooms used to be? It used to just be these usernames and these AOL names that was just popping up on the side, and people were just saying like the most outlandish shit ever.
Yeah.
And Twitter is still like that to an extent, but like
I like how you put that the most outlandish shit ever because they be saying some shit, man. Oh my
and
God.
on Twitter, like it's you know, it's more defined and it's more personal. It's like this is this person's journal. This is this person's fuckery for the day. For the day, for the month, for the week. Like sometimes I go back, I look at my old tweets, I be like, boy, I was on some bullshit in
Yeah, I
2013.
delete the fuck out of that shit. All my old profiles are gone.
You did the
Them
right
hoes
thing.
Gone. My account now was from February of this year. All business.
Brand new.
Yeah, brand new.
Yeah, so nobody can pull up old tweets. I
Yeah,
need to go ahead and
fuck
delete.
that.
I'm not gonna delete my Twitter, by the way.
Yeah. That shit had to go, son. I'm sorry. Nah, I made my Twitter right after I graduated high school. This was 2011. Shout out to my nigga Jerome. Man. You know Jerome. Shout out to Jerome.
Shout out to Jerome.
We were just at the crib. He like, son, cause we clown. Like he like, son, you gotta make a Twitter. Cause we clowning and people be clowning on the. So come on, that clown niggas with me. I said, all right, son. So we was on that bitch cutting up. I really made a motherfucking Twitter in 2011 just to fuck with people. You hear me?
Yeah. And what Twitter was from like then to now is totally different.
Crazy.
And because I think I joined Twitter in like 2010. I think I joined Twitter in 2010, and it was just an all-out war zone to see who could say the most disrespectful shit first.
Hey, I'm laughing so hard because this shit bringing back crazy memories, dog.
Like, who could say the most disrespectful shit? And back then, it wasn't even about retweets and likes and shit like that. It was just, nigga was really just trying to get these thoughts off.
A whole joke.
Yeah, that's really what it was. Twitter was the Joe spot, for real. And then just, I don't know how shit didn't develop into, like, the Instagram. I'm not big on Instagram. I don't like it because I'm not, like, a picture-taking person.
Hey, we could talk about that, too. Speaking of that Instagram stuff.
Right, and then Snapchat is... like just like I said for Instagram, I'm not big on taking pictures, so Snapchat isn't really my speed.
Mm-hmm.
But I gotta have it because of the projects that I'm doing.
Exactly.
And I feel like I'm kind of handcuffed to the social media because of what I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? Because it's just a better way to reach out to people and spread the word. And you know, I feel like this phrase is overused, but it's the truth. It's spread awareness for it. But what was your point on Instagram?
Going back to that, how you feel handcuffed to it. I'm not the picture taking dude, man, but like you said, it's changed from 2011. It's businesses on Instagram. Like my Instagram profile is a business account.
Yeah.
You know, yeah, I got a lot of content. I got a lot of followers, but only like 2 or 3 pictures of myself. I ain't posting pictures. I'm posting these beats.
Yeah.
I ain't posting these beats directly. I'm posting a beat video of my beat. You know,
Content. That's what the word is going forward. All content based. You know what I'm saying? All right. Well, go ahead and just like plug any projects that you got. Plug like your social medias, and because I know this is where the work lives. The work lives on social media, and so if you got like your Twitter page, go ahead and just I'll put this down. I'll put the Twitter name and your socials down there at the bottom, but just go ahead and just plug them.
All
and
right.
just what platforms can everybody find you on?
All right. So for this very reason, I try to be uniform. You can find me on Twittergram. Look, I was about to say Twittergram. That's how uniform I am. Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. It's all SSJ Amethyst. Like at SSJ Amethyst on Twitter, at SSJ Amethyst on Instagram. No special characters, no spaces. That's SSJ Amethyst, AMETHYST. And same as far as the music sites, you know, I'm on SoundCloud, I'm on Apple Music, I'm on Spotify, I'm on Tidal, all under the same name, SSJ Amethyst. I'm everywhere.
Yes, sir. All right. You got any other project that you want to plug? You just put out your album. Where can they find that album one more time?
That album is titled Ethereal. That's ETHEREAL. That's on literally all major streaming platforms. I know y'all like Apple Music. I know y'all like Tidal. I know y'all like Spotify. It's on all those. It's even on things that y'all motherfuckers don't use. That shit on Deezer. I don't even know what that is, but it's on there. That shit on Napster. It's on everything, man.
It's all them streaming platforms, dog.
Yeah.
It's crazy what the streaming shit done did for music and everything, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because
royalty.
That's another bag coming in, right?
Yeah.
So, all right, y'all. Well, I appreciate y'all for pressing play. Look at me, I'm falling over my words. You can tell there, right? That's crazy. But I appreciate y'all for pressing play on this another episode of the I Stay Low podcast show. I'm your host, Mardy Lee, and until next time, y'all.